Well, it was short, but it was sweet. The one game that the Spurs played at home over the last 2.5 weeks, they got the win, taking care of business by a 25-point margin over the Washington Wizards. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here on Spurs Live, the post game. That's TJ Ford. I'm Michelle Montaigne, and we were treated to a game that saw the Spurs hold just a 4-point lead at halftime and then take care of business in the second half.
Yeah, they was able to come out in the second half and be very, very productive. We talked about the turnovers in the first half. They was able to eliminate that and was able to continuously go on the run and not let Wizards creep in and come back like they did in the first half.
Victor Wembanyama coming off of the bench in 17 minutes. He finished with 14 points and some monster dunks.
Yeah, when you look here at Wemby being able to be on the perimeter, advantage that he has over most bigs, being able to beat him off the dribble, and then there being able to get off his offensive rebound and the dunk. And then what he does well is being able to stretch forward with a three. And look at this move here, guard move, being able to drive, spin, and throw it down. But this is most impressive play right here. Getting a block shot, going coast to coast, going through defenders, one hand, and a jam, something that most players in this league can't even do.
There were several moments tonight where the entire arena was on their feet after one of those monster Wemby slams. I know Jacob Toby and Sean Elliott would have been on their feet if it weren't for those ugly sweaters that had them chained to their seats.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a heavy one.
I stand up sometimes when actually I announce the game.
Yeah,
so
you do.
Nothing stops me there. So,
you didn't have to stand up tonight, though, thankfully.
It
was in the bag.
It was in the bag early. Dylan Harper was in his bag early. Career high night for him.
Yes, he was. He just continues to impress us at a terrific cup. And then he comes out tonight and does pretty much exactly the same thing. I mean, the three ball was in effect for him, and then he's making that. You've got to respect that on the perimeter. And then he starts taking the ball to the basket and a little razzle dazzle. Another little stop and pop there. That one could have easily been a three ball. This one here, most impressive because we know that he finishes around the rim. He really explodes and uses left and right hands. But man, that two-handed finish was something special.
8 of 12 the last two games from downtown as well. You're seeing the confidence with his jump shot.
Yeah. I'd love to see it. I think that was one of the question marks coming into the season. Could he shoot the three ball effectively? Players, if they want to work on it, they're going to get better shooting the three ball. You have all the tools there. You have the coaches. You have the practice facility. It's apparent that he's putting the work in, and it's only going to get better.
41 points given up by the Spurs in the second half to Washington. That ties a season low for them. They gave up 41 to Dallas in the first game of the season, so the defense was good in the second half too.
Yeah, they locked in. There was attention to detail. There may have been a spell there where they got a 16-point lead and then got a little goofy with the ball, got away from themselves a little bit, and then they got right back to it and were able to keep that lead, stiff-arm the Wizards, and then you allow Victor to go to the bench and sit the rest of it out.
Do Timmy's powers, do you get the powers by wearing this?
I'm feeling it. It's like it's an itching, burning sensation.
Not what I was going for, but okay.
I love it. I'm honored to wear Timmy's jersey tonight. He's the man.
He is the man.
It is a little tight, though, like I said, in the chest and shoulder and neck area.
Itching, burning sensation. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy your happy flight later tonight. It is a happy flight, though, because the Spurs, as they said, they took care of business in the second half. 6 different players in double figures scoring for the Spurs on a night where, they had both things working, the offense and the defense, as they just highlighted there in the second half.
Well, this is a dangerous ball club. When you have multiple guys scoring double digits, it's very hard to beat the Spurs. But when they are doing the things defensively and locking down the paint, controlling the perimeter, and not letting guys shoot threes, it allows us to get out open court, get fast breaks, get the crowd involved where you saw some razzle-dazzle and dunks from multiple players, from Castle, from Wemby, from Harper. So those are the things that allows us to be very effective in transition.
Easy to get this crowd involved when the Spurs are playing like that, especially when they're making plays like this. The White Castle in full effect. The alley-oop happening all night long. The Spurs get their 10th win at home. Well, there are plenty of good duo nicknames on the Spurs this season. One of the best, I think, is the the Slash brothers, the dynamic duo of Stefon Castle and rookie Dylan Harper. Those two, their ability to get to the rim is uncanny, unlike really any other duo we've seen in recent years. And I know you, with your TJ's takeaways, have even more on these Slash brothers.
Yeah, I mean, we have the luxury. You had one player of the year, rookie of the year, and you have another guy in that category that I should be in that conversation right here. Look at Castle being able to sprint and get in transition and throw it down for two. These are things that these guys are able to provide. Here go another play off of a good handoff. And you got Dylan Harper being able to go one-on-one, use his strength. And when he gets to the basket, he's an excellent finisher with his size and his strength. Again, high pick and roll, good screen, lob to the rim for a dunk. When these guys get in the paint, they're very dangerous because they have multiple guys that they attract. And here go again, getting able to get in the defense, in transition for a trail three. Having these two guys is unbelievable because it allows us to score easy baskets. It allows guys to get easier shots. And they are so strong physically that any guard that's on them is pretty much at their mercy at any time.
They make it look so easy. And I think it's easy to forget Dylan Harper is just 19 years old. His ability to get past, I mean, he's doing this against Rudy Gobert. These are all defensive players that he's able to get to the basket around.
Well, these guys do not have the let's wait attitude. When you look at these two players, they're coming in to be game changers for the Spurs, and they want to be able to let teams know and let the whole NBA know that they're not in the wait mode. These guys are showing that they are one of the best in the league and that the Spurs is a team that they're not waiting to be in any play-in game. These guys are going to make the playoffs, and that is the mission that each player on this team is displaying every time they go out there and give it their all.
Tonight, he was doing it against Alex Sarr. Throughout the season, we've seen him do it against guys like Rudy and others. And as you said, yeah, just impressive, especially when you consider how young both of them are. All right. They aren't the only ones who added to the scoring tonight. We had Devin Vassell making threes. He was 3 of 6 from downtown, one of several guys draining it from deep. We have more on Spurs Live when we return.
Mitch, would you say you guys played with the appropriate fear with them coming in with the record that they had and you guys coming in off that long stretch on the road?
I think we did in the sense that we knew they were playing well, and I do believe we had the appropriate fear. I don't know if we were putting the right energy into the right stuff for the whole game, but that's part of the challenge. And these games are tough when you're home for 36 hours. Not an excuse at all, and everybody does it, but we had to get going a little bit, and we finally did.
Can you talk about how you guys have been playing defensively of late?
I think our communication is getting better and has a lot of room to improve. But when we communicate, because of the personnel we have, whether that's rim protection in the paint or some dynamic athletes that can really provide a lot of resistance when they put their mind to it, when we communicate and we're connected, we can be tough to score on.
How do you think these guys have done sort of incorporating, even with the minutes restriction considered, incorporating Victor back into the offensive side of things?
Love the intentionality. It's, again, I know it's not giving you much, but it is just going to take time. He wants to do it all, and he doesn't got a lot of minutes to do it, and he's not the only one that's just getting back into the fold. And so if we play with the right intention, which I thought we did tonight, I thought we did a great job of getting to the paint and passing the ball. I thought the quality of passes could have been much better. Thought we had too much grabbing and reaching for the basketball when we could have hit some guys with strikes. But when we try to play together and then play fundamentally sound, our offense will take care of itself because of the personnel we have. And again, over time, it'll get cleaner and better feel for each other.
Seems like it changes the dynamic of the guard trio of Steph, Fox, and Dylan whenever one of them can shoot really well from distance, especially. Dylan's been doing that really great the last couple of games. What do you make of them being able to add that kind of that level to the three of them?
Yeah, I mean, Fox has been shooting good all year. Dylan and Steph have been in now. I know, Steph's percentage is whatever it may be, but he shoots it well, especially when he takes the right ones. And so those guys make shots. And again, I think our offense is going to produce it should produce if we play the right way. Good shots for those three guys and everybody else, and I have no concern about our shooting. And then obviously it does open up everything else in terms of because they are devastating when they get to the paint.
Coach, you guys are coming off two really physical games in Vegas. What is the appropriate level of physicality over the course of an 82-game season? How do you balance that, imposing your will versus not putting guys at unnecessary risk?
You're talking about health-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah, I think to just in our self-centered world, not about any other team, our brand of basketball, what we were trying to demand of these guys, there is nowhere to conserve energy. The way that we want to play, obviously defensively, and have pressure and presence on the basketball and fly around, and then the way we want to gang rebound and then transition that into playing fast offensively where almost anybody can bring up the ball and we want kick aheads and everybody to flatten the court and get to the baseline. And then in the half court, we want to keep pace, and then we want to crash rebound offensively, and now you got to get back defensively. It's taxing. And so I think, to say the least, we're aware of that, which means we need to trust our depth and play bodies and need everyone to be able to step up and understand that brand of basketball. It may not always look the same based on the five guys on the court, but that consistent theme of the principles that we are not negotiating on should be true as often as possible.
Just heard there from head coach Mitch Johnson, and in his first answer, he acknowledged the fact that the Spurs are only home for 36 hours. They are going to get on a flight tonight to head to Atlanta. As we said, this was the first night of a back-to-back. They're taking on a Hawks team tomorrow night that just fell to the Hornets 133-126. Trae Young did make his return, but that's going to be another tough test tomorrow night.
Yeah, with Trae Young coming back on the road again, our guys have to come out motivated, passionate, play the right way, like Coach Mitch talked about. Don't reserve any energy, and go in Atlanta and start off the road trip with a win.
You and I were talking about the fatigue for this team. I mean, they've basically been on the road for what will be over a month. They're playing the second night of a back-to-back. Mitch just said this is not a style of basketball that allows these players to conserve any energy. How difficult is it to play what will be a really good team tomorrow night?
Well, it's very, very tough being on the road as much as these guys has. I think the thing is when you look at them being able to adjust, being able to be reliable to the next teammate, to whoever is available for the night. I think our guys have been doing an amazing job with that. So being able to go on the road, I think the experience of guys experiencing losing for so much, for a few of these guys, that feeling there has turned around and turned the corner of a winning culture here. And I think those guys are just built for it. They want it, and they're looking forward to continue to make a name for themselves in this league, that they're not waiting. They want it now.
19-7 after tonight's win over Washington.